It's your boy, Tony Ortiz, back again. And I did not even. Uh, okay, I guess we're in. I, I put out a video that was like, we didn't get in, boys and girls and everybody else. And um, yeah, I just assumed. Let me tell you what happened. Okay, so one of our best players, Axel Ryman, was reached out to by some of the organizers to check out his availability to do a bonus run, which is actually the week after um, the marathon. So it's like a um, uh, it'll be like remote. He's in California, I think. Um, so that's in. You know, let's see, where does it say the date? Oh, it says the date right here. So 6/20. So like they're gonna have like a bonus run online on the Friday, um, after the marathon. So the marathon starts on like a Thursday, um, and then it goes Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then they're gonna have a bonus like marathon stream on the Friday afterwards, which is remote. So this is in. So I thought, okay, cool, he's in, whatever, awesome. Happy for him, excited to do the commentary. You can see I'm listed on the commentary here, which is perfect. And in my submissions, I wrote like I would love to if you pick someone else that is in the community, especially one of the better players. I'd love to do the commentary for that. Because that's normally what I do most of the time. If we have tournaments, races, or whatever, I'm usually commentating it and or restreaming it, whether solo or with somebody else. I'm a decent player, but so that this is in. So I didn't even look at the list. It came out last Friday. I just assumed that um, this was how we got in, and I was like, all right, cool, awesome, we got something in. I'm happy. I tried. I submitted. I could be there live, but hey, there's lots of good games in here, and there's a tournament, that will be. I think the semifinals and finals will be played and all that stuff. I think that's how it's always been. Actually, I think I've watched this. I watched this once or twice in the last. I think I watched in 2023 and 2024, at least a little bit because I was interested in the Worlds Collide, Final Fantasy 6 stuff. Is there any Final Fantasy? Did Final Fantasy 4 Free Enterprise get in at all? Hmm. Yeah. Oh no, that's 5. So 5 is okay. Yeah, Career Day. Yeah, it's interesting that there's no Resident Evil 2. This is gonna be sick. Skyrim. Um, yeah. So anyway, so I just thought this was it. That's it. I didn't even look at the list. Um, I wasn't reached out to by anybody, at least not through Discord or email, at least as far as I can tell. Um, um, and so I just thought, okay, yeah. I mean, I didn't get an email. I didn't get a Discord message. So, um, that's that. I didn't even look at the list. So today, I get home. Went to work. Went to watch Manchester United second half of a European game today, and and then I went out, had dinner with some friends after. After the game was over, I came home. I threw my laundry in the washing machine, um, and then I sat down at the computer and I looked over Discord. And my Discord on my phone only notifies me if I get DMs. I don't get any notification for pings or ats of any kind. Um, Not that would really like pop my phone off or anything, but I think that's just the way I set it up. And so I popped over and I saw that the Ritual Race channel had two um, pings. So I just jumped in and it was people saying, "Hey, congratulations!" And I'm like, to me, and I'm like, "What? For what?" So then I scroll and this is here. So I've been sitting here for a week wallowing in self pity, depressed because I really wanted to go to this live, and I just I wasn't really going to be able to make it happen if I wasn't playing, because it's even though I'm within driving distance, staying in a hotel for 3 or 4 nights in a major city, even with a good rate. I mean, like, I have to say, I'm impressed with how fairly costed the hotel rate is. Um, so yeah, yeah, I'm happy. This is like crazy. Now I have my whole streaming schedule is going to change. It's going to be probably 2 to 3 runs a night, if not more, and nothing but that for like the next month. I've got to I've got to be playing. I've got to be talking. I've got to be basically doing dry runs every single night. And the the we've got a good block of time too. So what's cool is if I get like so we're gonna vet the seed. I'm gonna talk to the community. We're gonna vet the seed and see what we can do. I want to talk to the organizers first and see what they want. Like, if they, because what I can actually do is I can have 3 seeds vetted. I can have a seed that's gonna take me an hour and a half for sure, because there's a bunch of rigmarole and BS to do. I can have them vet me a 30-minute seed, in case we need to catch up on time, or I can have somebody vet me something that's probably going to take me somewhere in the middle of that time. So, like an hour, which is the average, I think, is probably about somewhere between 45 minutes to an hour if you don't have GBA Vania combat skill, which I don't, which maybe I will develop a little bit over the. I mean, I'm going to be practicing a lot more, so. Um, yeah, basically. I'm flabbergasted. I'm absolutely flabbergasted, man. It's one of those things, when the people who organized this reached out to us a few months ago, I was really hoping that I could get somebody else in the area to come live, and then like they would play and I would commentate for the most part. But when I kind of like put out the feelers and it was clear that nobody was going to be able to do that, I was like, all right, well, sometimes you gotta sack it up and be a crappy gamer on a marathon so that you can try to grow your game and try to grow your community, right? So I sat down. I made a 3-video series for my submission, which is I'm actually gonna probably um, yeah, I'll add this to the playlist. So if you're poking around, you'll see this is part of a playlist, and the other videos are in this playlist. So the first video is kind of like an overview how the game works. I tried to keep it under 20 minutes, but I think I ended up with like a 23-minute, 25-minute video about that. And then I had 2 runs basically. One which was the STS, which is the normal category we play, and then Max Chaos, which is the full random mode. And I explained a lot about all the stuff and everything. So I had 2 runs, and it was basically like, okay, this is what the shorter, quicker run, the more consistent run is, and then here's the LOL WTF run. What's funny is we had a Rainbow vetted them for me, and the STS seed was actually pretty good, but I orphaned 1 purple shard, and it happened to be the purple shard that you needed to beat the game, and I did a bunch of extra stuff that I wouldn't have had to do. So I should have probably either replayed it, knowing where it was and just doing everything normally in that order, but I just let it rock. I was like, look, I made these mistakes. I actually think it's cool because it illustrates like how you can miss something or forget to do something, and then that can cost you like an hour, which it basically did. I probably lost like somewhere between 45 minutes to an hour. If I would have just farmed the shard that I needed, I probably could have went and beat the game. Like, I think I had really good combat. I think I had like stuff. I'd have to watch it back, but I just let it rock. Then I did a max KSC. The max KSC was only like 5 minutes longer. But I kind of explained like in it, um, the vetted we could vet them to kind of fill whatever time slot. I thought that was a huge advantage. So like I can be there live, which is important because this is the first time I'm doing this live, I believe. Maybe they did before the pandemic. I don't know. No, 22 was the first one. I can't remember. Let me look. Whatever. This is the first one they're doing live since in person. And I think there's still going to be some remote commentary and some remote runs, and then we have the bonus run, of course, over here, but which is online. Um, but yeah, I'm thrilled to be in. It is on Friday, so I will have to take a day off of work. But actually, I'm kind of glad that that's the case now that I'm thinking about it, because that means I'm gonna get in. Uh, I'll probably leave Thursday after work because I do really want to watch. I really want to watch this. I want to watch this live. I really do. Um, because even if I leave early Friday morning, I have a 6 hour drive. So I'd have to, even if I left at like 7 a.m. on Friday, that's a long drive, and then I got to play at 8 p.m. or right. I mean, we'll probably. Here's the thing: it's a randomizer marathon. I'll probably have to be ready to go. Uh, you know, up to 2 hours before or up to 2 hours after. You never know, because I don't know if these other. You know what? I'm gonna operate on the assumption that the seeds that they grab for most of these games are going to be vetted by played by somebody else first, just to make sure that, like, okay, this isn't like an abysmally long, going to take an hour over our estimate type of seed or whatever, if that's like the range that the game has. So it's probably going to be down to that, right? Um, so yeah. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have the community help me out, and they'll vet some seeds for me, and then I'll probably have like the one that I know is under an hour, one that is probably gonna take a little longer than an hour or right around an hour or whatever. So I'll probably have two STSs, and then I'll have a couple max randos. Maybe we'll have one that you could beat quickly, but maybe something's in a weird spot, or one that you could beat, one that will take a while because you have to do like all the sections of the castle or whatever to get the Zangetsuto or whatever like that. If the Z sword's like behind the train, which Bromide is behind, OSL or whatever, that would be pretty painful. But again, I don't know how this is going to work. I have to talk to the organizers, of course. But yeah, my Discord DMs are open. Emails open. I'll be looking for stuff, so I'm hoping that I can communicate with them and figure out exactly what's going on. But even if we don't get a ton of communication, I'm it's all good. So I'm getting paid. I get paid every Friday, so tomorrow I will book the hotel and buy my weekend pass, and yeah, that's it. We're going. Here it is. So yeah, I definitely want to get a community member or two to be able to commentate if possible. If remotely is good for that, and so I can focus on playing. But I don't know how we're going to. It'll probably be just like a casual, like I can get somebody on comms that'll be like, yeah, basically either tracking like what we are looking for, what we have, and so on, or we can do, it'll probably be like a discussion, like where I'll like, hey, can you explain this while I concentrate on whatever. The good thing about the game, Bloodstained especially, is there's the shard drops are random, right? So a lot of them are somewhere between 3 to 5%. Most of them are 4% drops. So sometimes you have to kill 10, 12, 30, 70 mobs of the same guy over and over again to get the shard to drop. So when you do get the unlucky bit of luck where you have to farm a bunch, it gives you this empty space for donations. It gives you this empty space to explain the game mechanics and stuff like that. So yeah, yeah. So hopefully I'll have somebody that can like let me be able to take a breath and concentrate on playing when I need to, especially in the end fight. If I've got to fight Dom with like melee and like not a bunch of healing, it's gonna be interesting. I'm probably gonna see if Rainbow or whoever can get me a seed that, like, at least if I have to melee, or if like the fastest route is melee, that I can have healing and stuff, just to make sure that I can tank Dominique to a certain extent. But yeah, this is cool. I don't know what else. Oh, so like I said, I'm just happy to be able to try to grow our community back up. This is a kind of an interesting story. Like, I think we were thriving in 2023, and then 2024 brought us a patch that like introduced a like hard soft lock um, in a very in any menu while playing the game that you could accidentally trigger, um, and you could trigger it by accidentally hitting left or right on like the right frame while scrolling through any of the game's menus and shops. The shop, well, not any of the menu, but the shop menus. So like the crafting menu, it was easiest to do on the shop menu. You could do it some other places. You could do it talking to any quest NPC as well. Like if you anything where you scroll through like a list, like list of stuff to select it. That wasn't in the actual equipment menu or like the regular menu, but the shop menu. So if you watch one of my runs, you'll see me go to the shop, like go through there buy stuff. So this soft lock was basically killed us playing the game. You would do a solo run here and there, but you might just lose your run in the middle because you accidentally, uh, you know, were doing inputs too fast in a shop menu. Um, and that was introduced with patch 1.5, which was supposed to be the last patch of the game. And it took a while. It took Jupiter Climb and several other of us who played, constantly, tweeting and all that at the devs be like, hey, you can't leave the game in this state. Like, if it's going to be something that people can come back and play, and this is like the one mode that's evergreen, outside of regular speed runs or whatever, it's you can't leave it in this state. It's got to get fixed. So it did get fixed, but it took so long that I think it just kind of killed the momentum that we had. We ended up not having a tournament last year, and that's not great. So I hope that this will get some eyes on it. It'll get some people interested. The barrier of entry skill wise, I think, is around the same or maybe even easier than Soten is. Because with Soten you have easier combat, but you have Street Fighter inputs for a lot of spells and stuff. And in Bloodstained you don't have the Street Fighter inputs. It is the so like just a quick comparison. Like obviously the casting spells in Soten is much more difficult, but like it's not that hard to learn. You just have to get used to like how the game reads inputs and stuff, and like use the right controller, and you won't have that many issues. Um, there are no complicated inputs that are actually useful in Ritual. Like the only weapon techniques that are like super useful are all quarter circle forward, so that's pretty much free. Um, backdash canceling in Soten is very easy. Backdash canceling in Roten is not hard, but it's not easy. You have to kind of get used to it. And there is a technique to doing it, and if you screw it up, you actually lose time instead of saving it. So it's something you really want to practice. Combat in Soten is way easier. You just get a good weapon and you smash things. Um, but you also you have the shield, which can block attacks. You have some defensive options. You can make yourself invincible with a spell. In Ritual, it follows the GBA formula for combat, where you have to jump, attack at the lowest possible point that you can, land. As you land, do a ground attack. Then you have to cancel your attack ground attack animation with a backdash, because you can't jump out of an attack animation or crouch it or whatever, but you can backdash out of it. Once you backdash, you have to cancel that with the next jump, which is a short hop, which is another attack, and then you rinse and repeat that whole cycle. And it looks impressive as hell when you do it. It's like it's Marvel versus Capcom 2 Infinite like style. It's not as hard as those are, because those are a lot more inputs in a little bit quicker of a time. But the one problem is like wrapping your head around the timing of it all, and like I'm not good at it at all. I can't really do it, but it doesn't really impede you that much, because the game has a lot of other ways to deal a lot of damage, especially with the directional shards, because a lot of them are mana efficient, and you can get boosts to their damage and stuff. And there's elemental weaknesses and all that actually matter. So, you know, in and then like in terms of like platforming, I think that your movement options in Soten are better. Your for the most part, but Ritual does have the accelerator shard, so if you find that, you get super speed. Um, so like it in terms of like skill though, that required to play both, I think it's pretty close. Like the skill floor for both games is pretty low, especially to like when you realize you don't have to learn the best shit to have like good runs and times, and then in terms of like a randomizer, and then like the skill ceiling is massive for both games. Like you can see how good like Dragon Blitz and some of the other Sultan players are, and then when you watch our top guys, like they're crazy good. If you watch the tournament from 2023, um, it's amazing. Like the top four players are you know they're on that level of scary good, right? So I'm hoping that getting this in gets more eyes on it, gets more people interested, grows the community, and we can have a tournament again this year or something like that, and go forward. So I'm excited to be in, and I have to now set aside cash for this because I have I have vacations coming up later in the summer. So um, yeah, but I'm just happy. I'm just happy it's in. I can't believe we got in twice. Like, I don't. Okay, we're in twice, I guess. I mean, um, so yeah, basically, like I said, what happened was I just didn't even look because I thought, oh, we're not, it's not going to be in two times. Like I was just like, well, we're not live, but we're in the bonus. But no, we are. And if I don't even know if I would have remembered. I mean, I was gonna look at the list probably sometime this weekend anyway, just to see what was up and like figure out, oh, okay, what do I want to make sure I'm available to watch and all that? Because thankfully it's in June. There's no sports and stuff that's going to conflict. My sports are done by the end of May, but I do believe the Club World Cup's on this summer. My club's not in it. None of my clubs are in it, so um, that would really wouldn't matter. I think the women's Euro is this summer as well, so I would want to watch that. Several games for that, but yeah, like okay, so that means that now when you see me streaming from Sunday forward, it's gonna be nothing but Ritual Randomizer, and I'll update the slides to reflect that. And yeah, thanks for the support to all the community members and everything. And I hope that I can do a good job representing us, and I hope that the RNG blesses us on the run. And yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to heading back over to that area of the country. When my family, one half of my family first came to America a few generations ago, they settled in West Virginia first, and then from there, some of the people moved to Michigan, where I'm from. And but even in my young childhood, I still had family there, and I went and visited a few times. And a lot of those family members have now moved to other places. I don't have any family remaining there, but it is a place I'm familiar with, and I'm looking forward to going back. And I actually some of my favorite content creators are from that area. There's some cool YouTube channels that are based out of the West Virginia area. So and I think that the the marathon being held in a place with that typically doesn't have the best reputation for treating people well. If they're part of certain communities, I think that's a good thing. I think it's trying to build a bridge because this community obviously is very serious and just the charity that we're supporting and the policies that they abide by. They're good things, and I think that one thing that we often miss when trying to like not necessarily change people's minds, but like kind of like promote acceptance and tolerance and like just being kind people to each other is that we kind of we fence people off, right? And I don't think that's how you win people over. I think the way you do it is you go in there and you say, hey, look, we care about you too. We're gonna bring, you know, inclusive stuff to your area, and you should come check it out. And I think you'll when you meet the people, when you meet the human beings, I think you'll have maybe you'll change your mind, and be more open and accepting of people, and just letting people, live their lives and be who they want to be, right? So I think that is another good thing that it's nice to be a part of, right? So um, yeah, I think that's it. I've babbled for long enough. I have to go get my clothes out of the washer and put them in the dryer. Um, and yeah, get ready for a constant stream of uploads. I will be practicing um, at least 3 nights a week, but it's going to be probably more like 5 nights a week. I think it's going to be Sunday, Monday. I think it's going to be Sunday through Thursday, every night for the next 5 weeks. And we're gonna callus up the hands, and we're gonna get to work. So hopefully you guys will join me. Whichever platform you prefer, YouTube, Twitch. All the links are available if you're watching this on Twitch VOD, Archive, whatever. If you go to my channel page, all my links are in the panels below. If you're watching this on YouTube and you'd like to watch a live stream, the links for that are also down below. And I will post, if you're interested in Bloodstained and you want to check out Bloodstained, there are a couple different Discords you can join. There is the base Bloodstained Discord. That Discord has channels for Ritual of the Night, it has channels for both curse games, it has a randomizer channel, and so on. If you're interested in randomizer, specifically playing speed runs of it and racing that, we have a separate Discord for that, so I'll have both of those in the description on YouTube. The racing randomizer Discord is linked in my panels down below on Twitch as well, so if you are watching over there, you can scroll down, you can join us over there. The community is awesome. It's very welcoming, fun community. I like being a part of it. I think myself and Yeehaw played the first ever in-person live race, and we did it last year at a convention in Chicago. So I don't know if Bloodstained Ritual of the Night randomizer has ever gotten into a marathon before, and it is a marathon with exclusively randomizers being played, but to join in with like great streamers that have run this game before, to join in with our world record holder and our best players, and be able to contribute to growing the community is an honor. It's a privilege, and I'm just excited that we get to have a game in the marathon where you can buy it right now on a Steam Deck, on a Switch, on any console, on PC. You can roll down a couple menus, hit a button, and play a randomizer. It might soft lock you here and there, but you don't have to go to a website, have a ROM, do any of this other stuff, which is I think Bloodstained is a great way, and like Axiom Verge one are great ways to get regular gamers that maybe wouldn't consider randomizers into playing randomizers. And I think once they get hooked on that kind of thing, the barrier of entry to some of the other randomizers that are out there will drop. With Steam Decks and stuff nowadays, man, people can grab emulators, they can grab the ROMs, they can grab their seeds, and they can do it all right there. And I think that there's people out there already playing a lot of the old school games. I think get them into a randomizer, one that's easy to get into, one that you don't have to do any of the work, and going to a couple websites and clicking a few buttons is nothing if you want to play a randomized classic game, or even some of these randomized modern games. So I think that not only is it about, and I'm happy for us as a community of Bloodstained, I kind of feel like I'm happy that the overall gateway, it's a gateway game to the overall gaming community to maybe get more people into randomizers. So I'm happy to be able to showcase that. So yeah, once again, thanks everybody that supported it. Thanks for the committee for accepting it, and I look forward to seeing you guys in June from beautiful West Virginia, live at FFR 2025 summer.